I haven't had lunch.
Please, help yourself. Help yourself.
Thanks. I have no manners. What were we saying?
That it would have been nicer to meet under different circumstances.
Oh, yes, right. So this clafouti is your mother's?
The recipe is my mother's, but Ronnie made this one.
Your mother doesn't mix pears and apples.
No.
Poor thing has to have an operation.
Really, what for?
Her knee.
They're going to insert a rotatable prosthesis made of metal and polyethylene. She's wondering what is going to be left after she's cremated.
Don't be horrible.
She refuses to be buried next to my father. She wants to be cremated and put next to her mother, who's all on her own in Florida. 2 urns looking out into the sea, trying to get a word in edgewise.
We're very touched by your generosity. We appreciate the fact you're trying to calm the situation down rather than exasperate it.
Well, frankly, it's the least we can do.
Yes.
Not at all. How many parents standing up for their children become infantile themselves? If Henry had broken two of Benjamin's teeth, I'm afraid Al and I would have been a lot more thin-skinned about it. I'm not certain we'd have been so broad-minded.
Of course you would.
She's right. Not at all, sir.
Oh, yes, because we all know it could easily have been the other way around.
So what does Benjamin have to say about it? How does he view the situation?
He's not saying much. I think he's still slightly in shock.
He understands that he's disfigured his playmate.
No, he does not understand that he's disfigured his playmate.
Why are you saying that? Benjamin understands very well.
He understands he's behaved like a thug. He does not understand that he's disfigured his playmate.
You don't care for the word, but the word is unfortunately accurate.
My son has not disfigured your son.
Your son has disfigured my son. Come back at 5 and have a look at his mouth and teeth.
Temporarily disfigured.
The swelling on his lip will go down, and as for his teeth, take him to the best dentist. I'm prepared to chip in.
That's what insurance is for. What we'd like is for the boys to make up so that this sort of thing never happens again.
Let's arrange a meeting.
Yes, that's the answer.
Well, should we be there?
They don't need to be coached. Just let them do it man to man.
Man to man, Alan? Don't be ridiculous. Having said that, we don't necessarily have to be there. It'd probably be better if we weren't, wouldn't it?
The question isn't whether we should be there or not. The question is, do they want to talk to one another? Do they want to have a discussion?
Henry wants to.
What about Benjamin?
It's no use asking his opinion.
But it has to come from him.
Benjamin has behaved like a hooligan. We're not interested in what mood he's in.
If Benjamin is forced to meet Henry in a punitive context, I can't see the results would be very positive.
Madam, our son is a savage. To hope for any kind of spontaneous repentance would be fanciful. Right. I'm sorry. I have to get back to the office. You stay, Annette. You'll tell me what you've decided. I'm no use whichever way you cut it. Women always think you need a man, you need a father, as if they'd be any help at all. Men are a dead weight. They're clumsy and maladjusted. Oh, you can see the F train. That's great.
I'm so embarrassed. I can't stay either. My husband has never been exactly a stroller dad.
What a pity. It's lovely taking the baby for a walk. And it lasts such a short time. You always enjoyed taking care of the children, didn't you, Michael? You loved pushing the stroller.
Yes, I did.
So, what have we decided?
Could you come by the house with Henry about 7:30?
7:30? What do you think, Michael?
Well, honestly,
Go on.
I think Benjamin ought to come here.
Yes, I agree.
I don't think it's right for a victim to go traipsing around.
That's right.
Personally, I can't be anywhere at 7:30.
Since you're no use, we won't be needing you.
All the same, it would be better if his father were here.
All right, but then it can't be this evening. Yeah? There's no mention of this in the executive report. No risk has been formally established. There's no evidence.
Tomorrow?
I'm flying to The Hague tomorrow.
You're working in The Hague?
I have a case at the International Criminal Court.
The main thing is that the children speak to one another. I'll bring Benjamin here at 7:30. We can leave them to have their discussion. No? You don't look very convinced.
If Benjamin is not made aware of his responsibilities, they'll just look at each other like a pair of China dogs. It'll be a catastrophe.
What do you mean? What do you mean, made aware of his responsibilities?
I'm sure your son is not a savage.
Of course Benjamin isn't a savage.
Yes, he is.
Alan, this is absurd. Why say something like that?
He's a savage.
How does he explain his behavior?
He doesn't want to discuss it.
But he ought to discuss it.
He ought to do any number of things. He ought to come here. He ought to discuss it. He ought to be sorry for it. Clearly, you have parenting skills that put us to shame. We hope to improve, but in the meantime, please bear with us.
All right, this is idiotic. Let's not end up like this.
I am only thinking of him. I'm only thinking of Benjamin.
Yeah, I got the message.
Let's just sit down for another couple of minutes.
A little more coffee?
Coffee, okay.
Then I'll have one too, thanks.
That's all right, Ronnie. I'll do it.
I see you're a great art lover.
When you say, don't move so fast, say,